Alright, I'm taking my daily walk late. So, peace, TTM Academy. I'm almost at 2 years without being sick on the Dr. Sebi diet. In March, middle of March, will be exactly 2 years without retaining mucus in my system. And, but that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, peace to everybody. Yeah, so I'm going to talk about an issue that we've been talking about as it relates to the Tasha K stuff and Cardi B. You know, you notice that the judge just barred Cardi B being part of the Blood Gang syndicate. And we know that the Blood Gang syndicate emerged out of Cali, you know what I'm saying, back in the day. And it's a nationwide organized crime syndicate that's caused mayhems in black communities and Mexican communities all around the nation. You know, even the suburbs. There's blood gangs everywhere. You know, if you look at all the top rappers now, they're all blood gang rappers. I just had two cousins get murdered. One was a blood gang member, and you know, his friend shot him in the car like a day after his birthday. You know, and robbed him for his birthday money, probably. You know, he was flexing his money on Instagram. You know, just like Y&W Melly. You know, and they make these people heroes, and they're probably Bloods. Most of these cats are Bloods, right? And the only Crip rapper, notice how the Bloods under this Blood regime, the biggest Crip rapper, you know, Pop Smoke, you know, they took him out and then they released him posthumously. You know, so basically it's just like, you know, the rap game's on some super dark stuff, and this trial is actually an important part of the rap game and freedom of speech and stuff like that. But I think when it becomes like real gangs and stuff like that, you know, you're actually representing real sets, you know, because how this came to the news, you know, as far as Cardi B's gang stuff, you know, is when 6ix9ine got his RICO charges, and, you know, she was trying to make sure people knew that she wasn't part of 6ix9ine's crew. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, that's how that stuff started. But so, you know, here at TTM Academy, we've got a moratorium on gang violence. So, you know, we're always doing lectures, you know, to stop gang violence. And, you know, we've realized that the radio is one of the most important ways that the gang culture is being spread. And, you know, the owner of these stations are European American. So, you know, there's a big problem as far as the school to prison pipeline that's been happening all across America. And, you know, it's kind of Cardi B being an actual blood gang member. You know, she said it on multiple occasions and raps about it in her songs. And wears the colors. And, you know, that's the same as like Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra saying he's down with any particular Italian set. You know what I'm saying? And that stuff was illegal. They squashed all the Italian mafia stuff. But the black mafia stuff, they're not squashing it. They're letting black mafia and black boule rule black people at this moment. You know, it's really scary being a rapper in Atlanta. I'm walking here in East Point right now, and they take us out, you know. These cats I don't want people to know I rap, you know what I'm saying, or make beats, or DJ. You know, they think like AK and all that stuff is rap, you know. And, you know, people should be able to rap about guns. You know, I'm not against freedom of speech, but Cardi's part of a real gang. And that real gang had RICO charges with 6ix9ine. But they haven't had, you know, Cardi has no RICO charges. How come all the rappers who are actually self-admitted gang members, how come they all haven't been snatched up by the feds? You know, and that's what we really need to push for, is getting the blood gangs eliminated from the radio. Even YouTube, like how they shut down Young Dolph's page. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, not Young Dolph, I'm sorry, NBA Youngboy's page. When they shut down NBA Youngboy's page, it's like he's literally in real sets, toting all types of guns. People are getting shot. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's just craziness. They allow that stuff. And in the future, people are going to laugh at this generation and be like, wow, they really let that specific diaspora puppeteer them like that. You know, I have to say specific diaspora now. I say Euro diaspora, so people be like, you're being our word. It's like they try to flip stuff back at you. So as far as the algorithms, you know, us people with melanin got to be more careful with how we speak, because we got, you know, computers, you know. But as far as, you know, getting back to the subject of Tasha K and Cardi B, you know, Tasha K clearly snitched on herself. And given that she clearly snitched on herself, you know, that's a whole separate issue. I don't even care about that. It's like, to me, they're both guilty. You know, Tasha's guilty of, you know, maliciously defaming Cardi, but Cardi needs to be, you know, snatched up and investigated in a entire rap blood gang RICO charge. How come nobody's, you know, the RICO charges are going against specific sets, but notice that no RICO charges are going against the whole rap game? Why not? That means that specific sets are in Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? Like I was saying before, like these little dicky types, you know, they're the ones running stuff. You know, like my homie Seb, I went to NYU with, you know, he's Lil B's manager. And if Lil B didn't have you know, Seb's actually from the Caucasus Mountains, you know, but he's more swirly like DJ Grosk, my homie DJ Grosk, you know. But, you know, Lil B probably wouldn't have been through a lot of doors, you know, without having a Euro DJ. You know, like my homie Warrior Queen, that's what she's always talking about. She can't get a gig unless, you know, she has a black DJ. People aren't giving her gigs. You know what I'm saying? As a dance hall artist, they need that, like, oh yeah, you got the white electronica DJ backing her type of a thing. But, you know, so they're both guilty. Tasha and Cardi are guilty. You know, Tasha's guilty of stuff she's dealing with Cardi, but, you know, because, you know, she knowingly released information, you know, knowing that the person was mentally ill, they gave it to her, and knowing that it probably wasn't real. But I do believe in freedom of speech, and this is a big, you know, important lecture on journalism as well, and the intersection of, you know, harassment and libel and freedom of speech, you know, and that's what's happening here. But, you know, that's why I would say Cardi's even more guilty, you know, and the threats by her, I feel like the judge shouldn't throw those threats out. The judge should take those threats very seriously. And that's what the center of this lecture is that, in my personal opinion, you know, the judge is throwing out the whole blood gang stuff and the threats towards Tasha K, the blood gang threats. You know, they're like, oh, that's just, you know, black woman drama. But really, that's serious, you know, so my cousin that was a blood gang member that got killed by a fellow blood gang member, like I was just talking about, you know, that stuff happens every day in Atlanta, you know. And it's like, you know, 21 Savage, all these cats are all bloods, you know. Hey, most 90, you know what I'm saying, probably 90% of the rap game is blood. So it's like all that stuff has to end. The way to end the violence in the black community is to really end the propaganda that's being pushed at them, you know, because they took hip-hop away from the cats. But the cool thing is crypto's bringing back, you know, everything. So, you know, piece of hieroglyphics, they just dropped the Hyro coin. You know, I just got some for my son. You know, I got some, my wife got some, you know, supporting hieroglyphics, you know what I'm saying, black cryptocurrency. Just got some guap coin too, you know, so shout out to guap coin, you know, and shout out to all the Minds Collective, you know, Join Coin's about to drop, all that stuff's dropping. But, you know, the thing is right now with Hollywood, the blood gangs have infiltrated pretty much every aspect. And like I've spoken lectures before about, you know, if you take the so-called blood gang Crip truce happened at the Church of Scientology, so we know that they're involved in all that stuff too, you know. I remember, you know, I was in LA, and I made a post about L. Ron Hubbard jokingly in LA, and my girlfriend's car got towed while she was working that day. She was working at a college. Hey, maybe she parked in a weird place, but they jacked her car, and my laptop inside was fried, But LA is. I warn people about, the eschatology group out there, because, they're also a gang as well. You know what I'm saying? And they join with the Bloods. You know what I'm saying? And we got, Tiffany Haddish, right? She's a S gangs, Elron gang. You know what I'm saying? That's a set. You know what I'm saying? There's Elron set. You know what I'm saying? It's Pookie set, or whoever as far as Crips, I don't even know who invented all that stuff. Or I guess Tukey. But yeah, Tasha K, she's guilty. She's self-snitched. You know what I'm saying? But Cardi B, she's got videos of like hundreds of women getting, I can't even say it, pogrom. I gotta say pogrom. So the algorithms are cool. Cardi B literally has pogroms with sisters covered in, what happens after a pogrom. And, that's all, like, kids can click on it. Lil Nas X got the same stuff. Kids, they got the kids channel and the regular YouTube channel. There's a lot of, I guess the Church of Satan right now, they have the after school program for kids. All the colors are finally, flying, all these flags that have been out. You know what I'm saying? Like, all these sets have been here for a long time. Because, a lot of these things happen at, similar time period, coming out of Madame Blavatsky and whatnot, even Gandhi and whatnot. These things are really interesting because Cardi B is a role model for a lot of young black girls. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, people shouldn't be slandered, and so I'm on the rights of, women for not being slandered or whatnot. But once you're talking about, drugging dudes and having trans persons take advantage of stuff like that, it's like, yo, you can't be, coming at Tasha. Her character is very, very sullied. And I'm not saying that somebody with a sullied character should not be defamed. Obviously, if someone's a public figure, they gotta, be expecting that. But, so they're both guilty to me. Yeah, but the thing is, what Cardi's doing to me is more criminal. And, they're investigating Tasha for all types of stuff. But, I think it's more important the focus be on the fact that, Cardi B's a blood, Nicki's a blood, and even with their own beef, they're promoting interblood beef. And that's even what it seems like the blood comptrollers, whoever they may be, that are running the black music industry right now, they're siding towards, blood conflict, interblood conflict. Nipsey's dead, they kill everybody, like that's interblood conflict. All right, so I'm just speaking on the legal matters of that. There needs to be a RICO investigation of all the rappers that are bloods that maybe sold over a specific amount of units or something like that. That's one way to do that. In relation to all this, if you think about actually what happened with Manson back in the day, Manson never actually touched anybody. You know what I'm saying? Manson was just telling people what to do. And these rappers, they're just telling kids what to do. And, there was a debate about, when gangster rap was first coming out, whether, it was really influencing the kids. And, I think it was, you know what I'm saying? And, they talk about, what they actually don't talk about, the school to prison pipeline meeting that happened back in the day. We talked about that with Brother Asir in the lecture back in the day. So a couple months ago, and shout out to Saeed. Saeed's my homie. He's the one that told me back in the day used to mean like 2 weeks ago. When he was a kid in New York back in the day, way back in the day. I mean, back in the day could be like 4 months ago, 3 months. You know what I'm saying? But it's deep because when we did that lecture, we weren't even allowed to talk about the jab and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And now you are kind of, but they still, it's crazy. But Facebook actually just I posted this joke. It was like a meme that had all these percentages, and it had something about heaven at the end of it. It was a joke, and they warned me about that, so they made me delete it. You know, it's getting more CCP out here, but we're gonna be doing a lot more lectures on saving the Uyghurs being persecuted in the west of China. So shout out to all those Uyghurs out there. That's why the Olympics are being boycotted right now. But yeah, back to Cardi B and the blood gang stuff. All that stuff is really affecting the kids. And if Manson can, this is the last thought I had, if Manson can actually go to jail for influencing followers, why can't Cardi or any of these people be put in jail for influencing followers? You know what I'm saying? Even with Travis Scott, Travis Scott, and the whole Astroland thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's with this Tasha K thing and Cardi. Like I was saying before, they're both guilty, but I would say the blood gang is even more guilty. And Tasha does have freedom of speech, but she did censure herself. Yeah, so it was getting real dark. So this is the Tasha K Cardi B thing could continue. Talking about blood gang stuff here in Atlanta is actually very dangerous. The Bloods have a monopoly on the radio out here, and if you go to all the top hip hop websites, they're actually owned by European people. So it's like that dynamic is very dangerous when you got real black males in jail and dying and stuff like that. So Cardi B is actually inciting crime in the black community in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Cardi B is actually making it more unsafe to live in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? It's far from the days of crisscross and whatnot and happy feel good music. Cardi B is actually making it dangerous to live in Atlanta. The people that are spreading the blood gang stuff. Those are real gangs that really, like I was saying before, my cousin here in Atlanta got killed, and it's even scary to talk about at the grocery store. It's like there's probably Bloods here at the grocery store, It's like it's such a widespread epidemic in the black community, because, ever since the Italian gangs were pretty much squashed, they figured they kind of moved it into black communities. And, so Cardi B, like I was saying before, Cardi B is, admitting that she doesn't even want her own kids to, see her stuff. You know what I'm saying? And beyond that, when you actually rep real sets and real gangs that are real gangs in real life, that's a pretty serious thing. Just like if somebody were to say they're down with the KKK and then they did a photo shoot with the stuff on or something, that stuff's real. And she says she's not in 6ix9ine set, but she says she's in a real set, And if Cardi's saying she's in a real set, like I was saying before, the judge is throwing out all that information of Cardi being in the gang. You know what I'm saying? Like right here, right now, all the youth, they're wearing red these days. The Bloods have a monopoly out here. So in Atlanta, it's very, very scary as a rapper. And but this year, 2022, I'm gonna be bringing my rap stuff back. You know what I'm saying? I've been just scratching and stuff for a minute. You know what I'm saying? For the past decade. Last decade was more rap stuff. But I'm in it for the long run.